In November 1970, two hikers in Bergen, Norway, found a body lying in a remote mountain valley called Isdalen, the Ice Valley. She was burned, badly. Her face was almost unrecognizable. Beside her were two bottles of sleeping pills, one empty. Around her, the remains of a fire she had apparently lit herself. But that wasn't the strange part. The strange part was what investigators found when they started looking into who she was. Because the deeper they dug, the more she disappeared. This is the story of the Isdal Woman, one of Europe's most enduring unsolved mysteries. And over 50 years later, we still don't know her name. Bergen is a coastal city on the west coast of Norway, known for its harbor, its fish markets, its rain. Isdalen, the valley where she was found, sits just outside the city. It's a beautiful place. Hikers pass through it regularly, which is exactly why what was found there on November 29th, 1970, was so shocking. The woman appeared to be in her 30s, dark hair, around 5 feet 4 inches, well-dressed even in death. She had been placed, or had lain down, at the base of a steep slope, and someone had tried very hard to make sure she could never be identified. The labels had been cut from every piece of her clothing, every single one. Her fingerprints had been deliberately burned off. Her teeth showed unusual dental work that investigators couldn't place to any particular country. The sleeping pills beside her had no pharmacy label. At Bergen train station, police found 2 suitcases she had left in storage. Inside, more clothes. Again, every label removed. Wigs, false names written in notebooks, a coded diary that took investigators weeks to crack. When they decoded it, they found a list of cities: Paris, London, Brussels, Rome, Oslo, Geneva. She had been traveling Europe for months, checking into hotels under at least 9 different names, sometimes staying only 1 or 2 nights before moving on. Hotel staff remembered her as quiet, polite, always alone, always paying in cash, always checking that no one was watching when she left. One hotel owner recalled that a man had come asking about her just days before her body was found. He never gave his name, and he never came back. Investigators had 3 theories, and each one raises more questions than it answers. The first, she was a spy. The Cold War was at its height in 1970. Bergen was a key NATO city. Her travel patterns, her use of false identities, her coded notes, all of it fits the profile of an intelligence operative. Some investigators believe she was working for a foreign government and was eliminated when she became a liability. The second, she took her own life. The sleeping pills, the fire, the isolated location. But there are problems with this theory. The burns on her body were inconsistent with someone who simply lay down and set themselves alight. And the physical effort required to reach that specific location, carrying accelerant, it doesn't match a woman who had already consumed enough pills to kill herself. The third, someone brought her there, someone who knew exactly how to erase a person. The removed labels, the burned fingerprints, the deliberate choice of a location just remote enough to not be found immediately, but not so remote that she'd never be found at all. In 2017, Norwegian authorities released a facial reconstruction. They ran DNA tests. They asked the public for information. Interpol got involved. And still, nothing. Whoever she was, she had been erased from existence so thoroughly that even the world's best investigators couldn't bring her back. The Isdal Woman was buried in Bergen in 1971. Her coffin was sealed in lead, as required by law for unidentified bodies, in case she ever needed to be exhumed for further testing. A small grave marker simply reads, Ukjent kvinne, unknown woman. She had a life, a history, people who knew her by some name. And somewhere out there, someone knows exactly who she was. They've just never said a word. Who do you think she was? Drop your theory in the comments. And if you want more cases like this one, you know what to do.